You're listening to Vaquero News. Good morning, Vaqueros. Coming to you live from the Brownsville studio. I am Victor Ramirez, and we hope you had a restful weekend. Coming up first, reporter Justin Elizalde tells us about Hispanic Heritage Month that is celebrated from September 15th through October 15th.
National Hispanic Heritage Month is a time to observe and reflect the accomplishments and struggles of Hispanic and Latinx cultures in the United States. Though the month is meant as a time for celebration, Associate Professor of Mexican American Studies Catherine Medla Watson says that over-celebratory discourses can lead people to believe the struggle is over.
I would caution that in addition to sort of celebrating the accomplishments of Latinxes, which is super important, of course, we also need to understand that this comes from a place of struggle.
Medla Watson, who identifies as bicultural, shares her perspective on Hispanic Heritage Month.
While we've come a long way, so to speak, there's still a long way to go. And hopefully celebrations like this help galvanize us to create meaningful material change.
Hispanic Heritage Month celebrations are usually lively with dances, music, and food. This year's COVID-19 pandemic has reshaped the way celebrations would have been, such as ones being hosted by UTRGV's Campus Activity Board. CAB Cultural Chair Alejandra Santos explains how events such as Fiestas Patrias, starting today at 6 p.m. via Zoom, are being planned to keep students safe and engaged.
So what we are doing is that we decided to do like a little bit of like a twist on 100 Mexicanos Dijeron, and we're gonna do it like a 100 Vaqueros Dijeron. So for the entire month of September, we've been asking students questions on our Instagram.
According to Santos, there will be other activities such as virtual grito contests starting at 6 p.m. Tuesday via Zoom. Students who wish to enter must submit their grito by today to CAB's email. Santos shares her personal perspective on why Hispanic heritage is crucial for students at UTRGV.
I believe that we need to be yes, we are amazing. We're Hispanic. That's not a weakness. That is the most important thing about us. That's who we are as a person.
For up-to-date event information, visit CAB's Facebook page at facebook.com/UTRGVCAB.
While Justin reminds us about Hispanic Heritage Month, a UTRGV Latina competed on NBC's American Ninja Warrior.
It's just like a complete honor to be representing Mexican young girls. I get to inspire those types of girls. It's a priceless type of experience for sure.
As Hispanic Heritage Month began last Tuesday, UTRGV student Gloria Sofia Horta premiered alongside other Valley competitors on NBC's American Ninja Warrior. The 20-year-old explains what it felt like to get the call informing her that she will be the first female ninja from Brownsville and Matamoros.
There wasn't going to be a season. It's COVID and all of this, there's no season this year. Then super randomly, they called me and I was bawling my eyes out. I have the video and it is just ridiculous.
Horta competed alongside Holly Cavazos and Abel Gonzalez, her coach from Axios Warrior Academy in Mission. She credits Gonzalez for pushing her to apply for the show. The UTRGV Psychology Junior says the show has allowed her to become an inspiration for younger generations of Latinas.
For them, it's not about me anymore. It's about them. Just thinking about who you're doing it for, who you're representing, that's just going to get you through absolutely everything because you realize that there's a much bigger picture than just yourself.
Horta was born in Matamoros, Tamaulipas, Mexico, and immigrated to the U.S. at 6 years old. Her father, Francisco Horta, says that the announcement was a mix of feelings for himself.
Yes, I was shocked, but at the same time, not so much surprised because I've seen, obviously, as his father, I know what she's been through on her life or her efforts, dedication and discipline in different sports and activity in general in life.
Horta plans to continue her education to obtain a master's degree and work on projects to serve U.S. immigrants. The athlete also plans to compete again on American Ninja Warrior in future seasons. To see Horta's full obstacle course run, visit nbc.com/American Ninja Warrior. For Vaquero News, I'm Justin Elizalde.
While there are no on-campus events for safety reasons, the Distinguished Speaker Series will start off its 17th season virtually with a Latino actor. This week, actor, voice actor, stand-up comedian, producer, and screenwriter John Leguizamo will be the first guest to the Distinguished Speaker Series for the fall semester. The event will be live-streamed starting at 7:30 p.m. Thursday on the UTRGV's website. According to Leguizamo's IMDb biography, he is a Colombian-born actor best known for his fast-talking, feisty looks and Latino personality in films. Program coordinator for student activities Elena Moya says the Distinguished Speaker Series is a signature program that aims to provide the university and the surrounding communities with world-class leaders and lecturers.
So we are kicking off our 17th season of the Distinguished Speaker Series, but due to our current situation with COVID, we are hosting this Distinguished Speaker Series event virtually, and it is only open to the UTRGV student, staff, and faculty.
She says Leguizamo was scheduled as the last guest speaker for spring 2020, but was moved for this semester due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
So usually in the past when we have in-person distinguished speakers, they are able to communicate experiences that they've gone through. This one's going to be slightly different. We are going to have a moderator asking questions to John Leguizamo.
The moderator will be communication professor Greg Selber. Selber says he used to do a lot of hosting in the past, but is happy to get back in the game.
They're not here to listen to me. My job is to make sure that things run smoothly and that the speaker feels welcomed and that people are kind of briefed and that things, move on a timetable and that so it's just a little bit more interesting.
Moya says she is excited to have Leguizamo as a speaker and hopes to see the campus community show up to the event. To RSVP to the event, visit the student activities website. Vaqueros, don't forget that on October 5th is the last day to register to vote, 14 days from now. As the November elections are fast approaching, county's elections administrators say there is still time to register to vote. Cameron County Elections Administrator Remy Garza says the last day to register to vote in Texas is in 2 weeks on October 5th, and people have several options.
They can find a voter registration card either at their local public library or county building or the city building. They can go to our website and actually download one, fill it out, and mail it in. The address is on the bottom of the card. Or, if they'd like us to, they can actually fill out an online request, and we will mail them an application that has the pre-stamped card on the back, so you can return it to us.
People can also visit the Cameron County's elections office at 1050 East Madison Street in Bronzo to fill out the application. Hidalgo County Elections Administrator Yvonne Ramon says that voter registration information and instructions can be found on the county's website.
Well, you can just go online here in at our elections website. The Secretary of State has an application. I see downstairs in our lobby filled with people day in and day out, where they actually come in, they ask for an application, they sit down, they fill it out, and they turn it in.
To fill out the application in person, visit 213 South Clawson Boulevard in Edinburgh. Early voting starts October 13th and ends October 30th, with election being November 3rd on a Tuesday. Residents in both counties have 3 options to vote: polling locations, curbside voting, or mail-in ballots. To find an early voting or election day polling site, visit votetexas.gov. The UTRGV Edinburgh campus will have an early voting and election day site in the ballroom. While the Bronzo campus will not have an early voting site, there will be one in close proximity at the Texas Southmost College Jacob Brown Auditorium. Both counties will be taking precautionary measures for in-person voting, such as implementing social distancing, face mask protocols, and cleaning and disinfecting areas. For more information on how to register to vote and other election information, visit the Hidalgo or Cameron County Elections Department's website. For Vaquero News, I'm Victor Ramirez.
And McLean goes up and throws down a monster dunk. That fires up the UTRGV Fieldhouse.
And now time for Vaquero Sports.
Speaking of voting, sports reporter Luis Rubio gives us an insight on a new awareness program the Western Athletic Conference announced.
With Election Day just around the corner, the Western Athletic Conference implemented WAC Votes earlier this month to promote voting awareness to student athletes. According to a news release from the WAC Votes is a nonpartisan voter awareness program to encourage and support student athletes, coaches, and staff in the upcoming November elections. UTRGV Student Athlete Advisory Committee President and Women's Golf Junior Rachel Yu says the initiative for WAC Votes was taken by the WAC SAC student athletes.
And being that it is an election year, all those pieces kind of just naturally form together. And it was one of the major things on our summer WACSAC call agenda. So we already kind of knew it was all going to be there, and it just kind of formed up like that.
WAC Associate Commissioner of Compliance and Governance Marlon Edge says that the WAC board, made up of the 9-member institutions, supported the WAC Votes program that was put forth by WAC-SAC. The news release also states that Election Day on November 3rd would be a day off from non-competition athletic-related activities to give student-athletes, coaches, and staff time to vote. UTRGV Coordinator for Student Development, Julia Perez, says having November 3rd off is a move in a positive direction.
So we're really happy that the conference has given November 3rd a mandatory day off. A lot of our student-athletes are not from the Rio Grande Valley, so they will have to request a mail-in ballot. But for those that are from here, we will encourage them to go out and vote in person.
Although international student-athletes cannot vote in U.S. elections, WAC-SAC President Catherine Harston from New Mexico State University says the WAC Votes program at each institution will look to engage its international student base on topics such as voter education and resources
to where it's just as important for them. You know, they might not be U.S. citizens, but the educational aspect of voting itself is something that's really important for anybody.
To register to vote, obtain information on requesting an absentee ballot, or look for a polling location, visit wacsports.com/WAC Votes. For Vaquero Radio, I'm Luis Rubio.
Sports reporter Luis Rubio reports on some adjustments UTRGV athletics must do after the NCAA's announcements from last week.
Last Wednesday, the NCAA announced a new start date for the 2020-21 college men's and women's basketball season for November 25th. The new announcement comes with other caveats, including a reduced regular season, full practices beginning October 14th, and a continual moratorium on in-person recruiting until January 1st. UTRGV Vice President and Director of Athletics Chase Kong says he is glad to have an official announcement on the start of the season, but now UTRGV has to take the next steps forward in planning for a safe return.
So we're excited and support it. You know, you hate seeing any season get cut short, but it's really a minimal impact, and I think a really good time for us. It gives us a little bit more of a runway to make sure we're prepared.
Teams across the country are looking to adjust their schedules, including UTRGV women's basketball. UTRGV women's basketball head coach Lane Lord says his staff is continually trying to reschedule games, but is holding top priority for high-level Division I opponents.
You know, we always want to play a challenging non-conference schedule, and our first priority is to make sure that we keep Texas Tech and University of Kansas on our schedule. So right now we're waiting for those two schools to give us some dates, and then we'll kind of fill in our other games that we need in the non-conference around those dates. So that's kind of what we're waiting for at this point.
According to Kong, plans for the inaugural UTRGV South Padre Island Classic from December 18th to the 19th at the South Padre Island Convention Center and games at Bird Ogden Arena are still scheduled to take place. Although UTRGV Athletics has not released official information about fan attendance for the upcoming basketball season, Conk added that UTRGV is actively looking to allow fans at games with priority given to season ticket holders, corporate sponsors, and media. When asked about fall sports such as volleyball, men's and women's soccer, and cross country, Conk said the WAC is continually looking at its viability but are encouraged with its possibility due to the NCAA's announcement regarding basketball. To stay up to date, follow us on Twitter at Vaquero Radio. For Vaquero Radio, I'm Luis Rubio.
For today's weather report. Last week we saw rain, but we should be expecting sunnier weather this week. Today, Brownsville should be mostly sunny with near of 88 degrees with winds of 11 to 16 miles per hour. Edinburgh should also be seeing similar weather with highs of 86 degrees and winds of 11 to 17 miles per hour. Throughout the week, Brownsville and Edinburgh will be sunny with mostly clear skies. That's it for your daily weather report. We will see y'all here next week.
And now, for this week's event calendar.
Vaquero Radio will be hosting a roundtable discussion with UTRGV athletic members at 2 p.m. Thursday on Vaquero Radio's Facebook page. The roundtable will focus on the summer protests and social activism, race relations in the RGV, and how to use our platforms to promote change. Follow Vaquero Radio's social media accounts to learn all about it. Civic Engagement Alliance will host coffee and conversation on Thursday at 3 p.m. via Zoom. The event will be an opportunity for the campus community to engage, learn, and listen to different perspectives of the topic of immigration. Visit V-Link to sign up or to learn more.
And that's it for today's newscast. If you have any story ideas, send us an email to radio@utrgv.edu. Also, follow us on our social media platforms and visit our website for updates and much more. We'll see you all next Monday at 9 a.m. here on Vaquero Radio.
This has been Vaquero News.